These Queen's continuing to throw down the extra spawn larva on these hatcheries, and he is just cranking out a lot of drones. Got this expansion up to full capacity at this point, and it looks like he's going to throw down a Nidus network, so it looks like he might try to sneak a little bit of a surprise attack, although Goody has smartly positioned units and buildings all around the outskirts of his base, so he is going to be aware of any funny business that tries to come up, and he is able to get an expansion, or I'm sorry, observer over the expansion of Sen right now, so he is aware that this Nidus network does exist, although it looks like there are some drones in the Nidus network. I'm not sure where he's going to be putting it up, possibly going for one of the island bases, so that he can get an expansion up there, and it sounds like actually, no, he's putting a Nidus Worm up on the high ground here, so not sure exactly what he's going to do. It looks like he's putting down some spine crawlers here. I don't think the spine crawlers are going to be able to reach anything. Perhaps he's going to use this Overlord spawning the creep. Obviously, you can see the creep is moving up here towards the edge of the cliff, which it doesn't look like Goody can see because he has no aerial unit spotting this high ground for him, so he is completely unaware of what's going on right now. Although, just one note to make is that when this Nidus Worm does pop out, everybody can hear it on the map, and it looks like he's actually popping out another Nidus Worm, so perhaps messing with, actually it looks like Sen was able to get that out just barely because the Zealot that was over here did do some heavy damage to it, and another Nidus Worm going up right now. So he is just beginning to flood units in here from both Nidus Worms. What I was saying though is when these Niduses pop out of the ground, the screeching sound that you hear them make actually is heard by everybody on the map. You don't have to have vision to hear it. Although it looks like Sen has he's moved his spine crawlers up to the edge of this cliff here and now attacking the assimilator. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hit much beyond that. He will probably be able to get this pylon, but I don't know if he'll be able to hit any of these probes over here or not. This seems like it might be too far away for those spine crawlers to hit. Although I will give it to Sen, this is a very creative strategy. I've never seen anybody do this. Although this spine crawler moving up into the corner here may have just barely enough range to get to this corner, and he does. So any probes that manage to, actually he can hit both of these mineral patches, so going to be able to keep him effectively off of both of those mineral patches, and it looks like he is not going to be able to mine any more gas from this geyser until he deals with that. And his response, Goody's response here, moving out to try to put some pressure on the front of Sen's base, and Sen has meanwhile expanded to the middle right of the map, so getting a second expansion up already, so his economic advantage is going to begin to kick in here very soon. And another Nidus Worm going up, and it looks like that is going up in the back of Goody's base once again. So he's going to be able to unload a bunch of units to do some more damage here. And meanwhile, he does have a bunch of Mutalisks popping out, so going to be able to handle this base defending his base relatively easily because there was very limited anti-air from Goody with this attack. So able to move in there and defend that relatively easily. It looks like he was not able to do a whole lot of damage with this Nidus Worm in the back of Goody's base, although it is going to force Goody to divert some of his attention to hold that off. Of course, the observer's still sitting here for Goody, so he is aware what is at the front of this expansion at all times, and it looks like Sen is taking his Mutalisks over here to aid with the offensive, and so many probes being taken out of this base. It looks like, how many kills? This spine crawler has 16 kills. That is absolutely insane. I don't know if Goody just missed that because he was too busy working on attacking with his army, but apparently not doing a very good job of keeping his probes alive. Although these Mutalisks are going to fly through these cannons, and he loses a few of them in the process. Although this Nidus Worm again going up and going to start streaming units into his base, so doing a lot of damage to this cannon going down. Here comes the Colossus though. Colossus do a lot of damage against units like Zerglings with the dual laser beams here just melting away the Zerglings, as you can see, although the Colossus is losing all of its shields. Still has 182 hit points, and those shields will regenerate relatively quickly. And it looks like it looks like Goody is aware of the expansion on the mid right here, although he is not aware of how effectively it is being mined at this point. So these Mutalisks are going to come over and try to take out these Zealots before they're able to do any significant damage to the economy over there. And it looks like he has started massing up more Lings and Roaches out at his expansion. And these spine crawlers still up on the cliff, severely limiting the mining capacity of this expansion. So it looks at this point that the income is going to be very heavily in the favor of Sen. Although with these Colossus having the high vision for the ground, and they do of course outrange these spine crawlers with that range upgrade, he's going to be able to finally take out these spine crawlers. which actually that Colossus has 8 kills, and this Spine Crawler has 20 kills. So that Spine Crawler more than paying for itself with that harassment. That is definitely the first time I've seen anybody pull off this strategy. So props to Sen for coming up with something creative to show us here in this game. And it looks like he is throwing down another base and going to be putting down 2 more extractors at this base as well. So his economic advantage is going to continue to persist in this game as he continues to out-expand and out-macro his enemy here. And it looks like he is continuing to stick with Zerglings and Roaches for right now. If we take a look at the production overlay here, we can see that his army is primarily Zerglings right now. Actually, only a handful of Roaches coming out. More Roaches coming out now, though. So a sizable amount of Roaches at this point, and he's got 10 Mutalisks spawning as well. So going to have a very formidable army, although Goody does have a pretty formidable army himself. If we look at the unit overlay, checking their total army capacity, right now we've got 15 Mutalisks, 4 although more popping up right now. So 20 total Mutalisks, 4 Sen right now, 14 Roaches, and 33 Zerglings. So definitely a force to be reckoned with, although these Colossus are going to just burn those Zerglings down so quickly. As you can see, those Zerglings just going down. He lost 10 Zerglings just in that couple of split seconds that he tried to attack that he just got a little bit too close to that army. And unfortunately, these Mutalisks are not going to be super effective simply because they have so much anti-air. Although, luckily for him, he's got a pretty good split, so they are going to have to focus on either air or ground because there is a lot of both. But it looks like he is going to be able to throw down some force fields. Goody trying to hold off this choke point, and those Colossi just standing back, doing a ton of damage over those force fields. But still, the Zerg player Sen just has so many units, he is able to overrun that Protoss force and push them back. Although with the help of his cannons, it looks like he may be able to hold this off. A lot of Mutalisks still in the air with 18 Mutalisks, so continuing to do some damage. The only anti-air right now are a few Stalkers, which are about to go down, and some cannons at this entrance. Although it looks like that may be enough. The Mutalisks number starting to drop very quickly, but more Roaches coming in. Again, the Immortal, very hard counter for the Roaches. You can see doing a lot of damage to those Roaches before it ultimately went down. And Goody is going to GG, so losing his first game, as I've seen since the round of 8, this second game is going to go to Sen. So Sen is going to force this to go into a game 3. Let's move on. GG.